You already know what it is. It's Sunday, the 15th, 12:30, and you now rocking with Cuts by Garcia. And you already know what it is. It's time to talk that barber shit. So I just want to thank everybody that's going to tune in. We got a special guest today that's going to be sharing a lot of knowledge about the industry, sharing his journey, sharing how to elevate and take your barbering to the next level. So right now, I'm just giving you guys a little of my flow for the Sunday. But yeah, we're going to jump on board. We're going to do what we got to do. But you know how I like to start it off. Sometimes you just got to be classical, But yeah, we've been doing this for a minute, and then every time we get somebody to come aboard and share what they have to offer, and it's no type of anything being asked about it. It's just all about just how to connect and how to generate, more awareness, more growth, and that's what this platform is definitely all about. So I just want to keep doing this, keep linking up with a lot of people that's been, doing it well, doing it great, and have a lot to share. And that's what this barber industry is all about. Keep elevating, keep growing, keep showing, the new barbers, new hairstylists that's jumping aboard, how to do this the correct way. And, that's what it's all about. So we're going to keep doing it. I see you, Nick. What up, man? Nah, never that, Obi. Never that. But thanks for tuning in, man. I see you, Chris. What up, man? All right, so let's do it. About to get started right now. I see you, Arthur. I just sent you the link. Let's jump aboard. Let's get it going. What up, man?
What up, family?
How's your Sunday going?
Oh, man, phenomenal, bro. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
All right, bet.
Yeah, my Sunday's going good, man. Got my breakfast in, and ready to get that knowledge that you about to share with, all of us out here today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So, just to jump a little bit into it and tell you more about what TalkUrBarberShit is all about. It's a platform to elevate, to unify, to show unity. I've been blessed to have people like yourself come aboard that's been in the industry for a while, that have a lot to share and is willing to share. And this is what it's all about. My whole thing when I came into barbering was also to learn how to barber, to learn how to give everybody that experience in the barbershop, that hairstyle that they're looking for, but also, to connect, to build, and eventually, learn how to, work my business outside the chair and outside the barbershop as well. So I've been coming across a lot of people like yourself that are also, generating a lot of, revenue inside the barber or outside the barber, and they want to share it, and they want to, create a new business mindset of what the barber industry is really about. And especially with the new era of what we're in right now with social media and this whole different platform, and giving people that thought one way about the industry is seeing a whole different aspect about what the industry really is. So, I just want to, say thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on my board. And yeah, let's get to it. I want people to know who you are, how you got started.
Absolutely.
And definitely where you are now. So do your thing, man.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate, first and foremost, man, I appreciate you, man, for doing what you do for the industry. You know what I mean? Like, this is phenomenal, bro. Like, this platform, like, everybody's looking for a platform instead of creating their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, flowers for you while you're here, bro, on what you're doing, because, stuff like this is not just for you, it's for others, right? And that's the most important part about what we do as an industry as a whole, right? It's more, we're in a service industry. So we got to serve people. So I just want to give you your flowers, man, and I appreciate being on your platform, and I appreciate being able to give the wisdom that I have of my 19 years in the industry, 20 years in the industry. So yeah, absolutely.
That's a blessing. Yeah. And same way, this is what it's about as well. Like when I first started off, like, I wanted to, shine light on a lot of individuals as well that have, been in the industry for a while and like you said, 20 plus or a little bit more that, are willing to share. And a lot of people that I have spoken with when I first started off, they was kind of, nervous about doing this, but once they got on and then they started, just getting comfortable and able to like let loose what they felt and what they want to see more out of the industry, it became like I said, it became something more than whatever I thought when I first created this. So yeah,
Absolutely.
man, Arthur, let's jump into it. Like, so we're gonna talk about everything you do, but I want to take it back to the
Okay.
basic. What gave you the passion to say, "Hey, I want to be a barber"?
Okay. Yeah. So I've been a professional barber for almost 20 years, going on 20 years, 19 years straight, strong, right?
Okay.
So my barber career started off indirectly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't come out the womb like, yo, I want to cut hair and be a barber. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, my passion originally is like sports. I want to be an NBA player, right?
Okay.
But going through high school and all that stuff, all of those troubles, all of that, I mean, it's kind of how it started. But basketball didn't find out, it didn't be the way, right? It wasn't the way that God designed my life. But
Correct.
I always say like this. This is how it started for me. First and foremost, you've been a barber for how long? You been a barber, bro?
I've been a barber fully a year now with my
Okay.
license, but I've been
All right.
cutting. Yeah.
Cool. For a year. Oh, that's fine. But here's the question that, I want to ask you first. Have you ever had a bad haircut?
Oh, of course.
Of course, right? Well,
Yeah.
when I was 12 years old, bro, I started off with two bad haircuts in the same day. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 12, bro, that was the foundation of me becoming a barber, bro. Like I went, trying to get a haircut. I seen this dude walking down the street. He had a dope haircut, you know what I mean? Nice little taper around the side. If you look at it today, he had a full taper on back all the way around, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah, that's clean. But my hair grew really, really slow,
Yeah.
right? So for me to get a little bit of afro like that, it took months, right? But when I went to the barbershop, finally I walked to the barbershop and I tried to get that particular cut, but I didn't know how to describe it. It was way back in the day. Well, I tried to describe it the best I could. I was a shy kid, I mean,
Hmm.
really didn't talk much at the time. I went in there and told him kind of what I thought I was gonna get. And bro, he jacked me up, right? He gave me he didn't really jack me up, but he gave me a taper front and back, you know what I mean, which is cool. But that
Yeah.
ain't what I was thinking I wanted. I know how to describe it. Bro, I walked home that day crying, like mad upset, like, yo, this ain't what I wanted. He cut up my hair off. My hair grow too slow. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I went to my cousin. I called telling him, like, yo, dude messed me up, man. I need help. He's like, man, come over to the crib. I'm going to hook you up. So because he's, he used to cut all our hair. So he took me to the crib. I went over his house and he, did it. And then he gave me a fade, right? So he cut all my other joints off, gave me a fade. Like, oh yeah, you clean, G. So check it. I walk out the bathroom, out of this barbershop, which really was the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So I walk out and my
Yeah.
grandma like, dang, boy, who cut your head? And just started laughing hysterically. And like, don't ever let them, whoever cut you, don't ever let them cut your head no more. And bro, I was like, dang, he just told me how fly I was. So, bro, real talk, that day I went home and then I found a pair of wall clippers in my granddaddy toolbox, bro, old joints. And I just kind of buzzed my joint all the way off with a one. And that was
Yeah.
the foundation of me being a barber. I didn't know that was going to be the day that I became a barber. But
Correct.
that day I made a commitment that ain't nobody's going to cut my hair, right? I was 12 years old. So through high school and then, my little tri-semester of college, I said tri-semester because I only tried. And cutting hair was kind of like the only way I could make money at the time other than running the streets. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? So that's how I kind of originally indirectly found my passion in be a father.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry about that. A little glitch.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, no, good. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So, but when I was 19, I got the news I was gonna be a father. So I was like, yo, on this path I'm going on, if I don't get my stuff together, bro, you know what I mean? It's clear right now I ain't going to the NBA, and if I stay on this path, I'm setting myself up for failure and my potential son or daughter at that time for failures. I need to get something going. And at the time, only thing I was good at other than basketball was cutting hair. So I ended up going to barber school, and that's kind of how that started.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, I've been down that road as well. I had a lot of people growing up that, friends, close friends that I allowed to, do certain cuts for me. They had my hairline like crooked like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or one time, it was a barber of mine that was always, he had things to do at the shop. So outside the shop, he was, part of the baseball team, coaching his son and all that. So he was never like at the shop all the time. So you jump around and try different people.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, I was just like, man, no, I'm gonna see if I could do it myself. So I was getting pretty good at it. But one time, you see pictures or you see kids around the school that have certain cuts. You're like, okay, let me see if I can try that for my head. Not knowing that everybody's hair is different, everybody's head is not the same. So I tried a certain cut and try to put a part in my head, trying to have that Nas look, and did it wrong. And I couldn't, once you hit a certain point on your head, coming back. And I was just, man, I shaved all my head off. So I'm at the table and I'm just sitting there doing my homework, and my parents come in, and the first thing my mom do, she just like stood there, looked, started laughing, and then like dashed to her room. So I just knew that, it was done. So I'm walking around bald head at school. People ask me like, what made you decide to do that? I was like, oh, I'm just, trying a different look. People slapping me in my head, like,
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
You have those moments, and it definitely teach you. It teach you a lot. It teach you about life. It teach you about experience. It teach you like new direction, and how to have a tougher skin, or how just look at yourself a little bit differently, like how you want to perceive yourself. So my next question is like, what was the best learning experience for you when you started barbering?
The best learning experience I got, bro, was from my first mentor. When I first got in the barbershop, at the barber school, I got into the shop. I had a choice to go to a couple of different, work on a couple of different barbers. So I was highly recruited out of barber school, right? So, and then, a lot of people wanted me to work in the shops. Well, I ended up choosing the place I chose. It was an older gentleman. He had already been in the game for 30 years, right?
Okay.
But at that time, so he already was like, he was OG though. And so I ended up working with him instead of working in the young environments, right? Which was cool. Everything was, it was like, some of the hotter shops, they were more popular at the time. But when I went and worked for that man, he said to me one day, bro, because he'd get to the barbershop at 5 a.m., he'd close the shop at 5. He was cutting like your principals at the school. He cutting like the lawyers, and he cutting that type of caliber of person.
Mm-hmm.
And I would come in, I'm only 19, 20 years old. I would get there 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whenever I get up, you know what I mean? Because I'd be out partying or whatever. And he said to me one day, he asked me, he's like, what is this for you? Like, what? And I was like, I didn't understand what he meant. He pulled me to the side, like, what is this barber thing for you? Like, is it a job? Is it a hustle? Like, what is it for you? And I'm like, man, for job, I guess. First, best thing I know is a job. You know what I'm saying? I've been hustling all my life, you know what I'm saying? And this ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing. I ain't got to look over my shoulder. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay. He said, well, let me tell you something. He said, if you treat it like a job, it'll pay you like a job. If you treat it like a hustle, it'll pay you like a hustle. He said, if most times people hustle, they got a little bit of money sometimes, and sometimes they don't have no money. And, people got a job, they're consistent, they always have money, got consistent income. If you're here consistent in this barber industry, coming to school, coming to work, and treat it like it's your business, treat it like it's your job, you can have a consistent income. And that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I never understood it because all I knew was hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that was probably one of the biggest impacts that my first mentor had ever said to me. Treat this industry, treat it like don't treat it like a hustle. If you want consistency, you got to treat it like it's a job, your business. You know what I'm saying? And set yourself up like that. And the thing he said also was like, most people, like if you went to McDonald's, this is the example he given me. He said, if you go work at McDonald's and your schedule was 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., right? If your schedule was 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you are required or you're expected to be there from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., right? Because that's your schedule, because your boss said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most people that become in the barber industry and in the beauty industry, they set their own schedule because they want to be their quote unquote own boss. You know what I mean? But when you go work for somebody else, you meet their requirements, but most of barbers and stylists don't set requirements for themselves. So you should set yourself a set schedule, just as you would if you work at McDonald's. And so many times, some people should fire themselves because they're not willing to work for themselves as they will work for somebody else, right? And then they set themselves up for failure. And when he told me that, man, I'm like, my whole life, he shook all the furniture in my head at that time. He moved it all around. But I just started dwelling on that same thoughts for years. And I didn't get it right away. But as the years progressed, man, it made so much more sense. That was probably the biggest impact that I ever had. You know, if somebody's ever said to me early on in my career.
No, that's definitely correct, man. I learned that one. I mean, I learned a lot from my parents, but one thing that stood out the most was that right there. I was like, even when you feel like you're on time, you're still late. So if you want to be, if your time is like you said at 7, you at least want to be there at like 6:45, 6:30, just show your presence. You show how how you value yourself, how you want to proceed whatever you're doing to the strongest fact. So even to this day, every time I'm doing something and somebody give me a set time to be somewhere, I'm always like 15, 20 minutes early. Yeah, but yeah, that's how you structure yourself. That's how you structure your business. That's how you move as a leader, how you move strongly with anything you're doing. You always want to make sure that you have your own set goals.
Absolutely.
Did it ever point, even when, you started barbering school or after barbering school, you got into the shop, did you struggle with the what if factor? Like, what if I fail? What if this is my right path? What am I doing? Like, is this what I should be doing?
That's a good question. I would say the first few years I probably did, because I realized now I was listening to the wrong people. All right. And what I mean by that is, any person is looking to elevate. The most important thing you can do is get the right information from the wrong person at the right time. Right. So what that means is basically you're listening to people that doesn't have the desires that you want and, where you want to go in your business, like where you want to take your life. Right. And they give you false evidence or false advice on things that, doesn't support your goal. Right. So, and, what that means is like when you got a circle of friends and you be like, yo, what if I open up this shop, but it don't fail? It doesn't work, right? So, and if you got people that's like, yeah, you might be right. It might not work, bro, because based on where you're trying to go, they ain't gonna support you. This is and that. That's the wrong information that you hear at the right time, because that'll make you not do what you want to do, right? So, yeah, I struggle with that early on because, you think that the people that you grow up with, that you in the gym shooting with, that they want to go to the next level with you, but realistically, they only gonna go as far as they want to go. Right. And if you want to go further and you want to elevate, you got to learn how to cut them off early because they'll pull you down before you get a chance to go up. Right. And what happens is you allow other people limited thinking to put limits on you. So if you're not aware of that, man, I did struggle with that early on because that was my circle. That was my circle of influence. Right. Until I changed that and I started to see like, wow, all of these negative answers and negative questions and negative things, they just don't want what I want. So once I cut that off, my elevation just skyrocketed.
I noticed one thing, well, multiple levels. What I love about your content and your page, everything on your page is about mastering your craft, elevating, how to move to the next level. that was one thing that made me really, I don't know exactly when was the point that, you know, our page kind of collided and I saw whatever I seen that made me be like, okay, let me really tune into what this guy is really
Right.
allowing himself to really share with us and really keep us moving forward as an
Mm-hmm.
industry. Um, my next question is like, every, no, every barber is looking to be the next big thing off social media. What would guidelines would you tell a barber to follow?
To get to the next level.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's keep it simple, right? What I would say, if any barber's trying to get to the next level, is a couple things you got to do, right? You got to first find a coach, a mentor, somebody that's already doing or done what you want. That's number one, right? Because um, I'm interested in quantum leaps, not incremental gains. If that makes sense. You know, so many people like want to get to the next level by 10%, 20%. I want you to have 100x return on the next level you want to go. I want you to be able to leapfrog yourself to your next goal. But the only way you can do that is by having somebody that's already been there, right? I love what Warren Buffett said, man. And you know, if anybody knows Warren Buffett, he's one of the wealthiest persons in the world. He said, learn from mistakes, but the mistakes don't have to be yours. So what does that tell you? That tells you can go find a coach, a mentor, somebody's already doing what you did. They already failed for you. So you can you can fast forward to your next level by learning from somebody who's already been through the troubles and the sacrifices, and they already failed before for you, so you can get there faster. That's the number one thing, right? And then the second thing is, once you find that mentor, that coach, I say you got to understand that you got to do everything they say. See, most people want to get to the next level, but they're not coachable, right? You want to go to the next level, and you find somebody that's going to give you this information, but you want to do what you want to do. Well, if you want to keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to stay where you've been, right? Because everything I'm gonna tell you, if I'm a mentor somebody, or if I'm a coach somebody, and I'm gonna give you the information, you say you want what I have, or you want to get to the next level, and I provide you with that information, and you don't do it, and you're telling yourself you want to stay stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can't. The information that your mentor is going to give you is going to be counterintuitive to what you already believe and what you already see, right? Because if you already knew it, you already be having it, right? And then the third thing I would say is, you know, fail fast. You know what I mean? Take a lot of action. You know, take action. If you're afraid, the antidote for fear is action, right? So whatever you fear, you face. And if you face that, you can, you know, you master it. Don't let anything that you're afraid of, you have to be intentional about like facing the fears that's in front of you, because fear is not real. Fear is only something that you focused on that's not a real and present danger, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
you're fearing something, it's because it's something that you give more focus than you give more focus on the things that you doubt than the things that you have faith in. That's what fear is. It's not a real thing. So if you fearing something, it's because you expecting something that you're not going to have,
Yeah.
right? So that's why you're afraid. So those are the three things. And like I said, the antidote for fear is action. So just take action at whatever it is you fear. Those are the three quick components that I would say for anybody that want to take a quantum leap in their barber business is find your mentor, do whatever they say, and take fast action and fail fast.
I like that. I like that. Let's go more into more everything that you're creating on your end. Like I really want people to really know what they're going to see, what they're going to get,
Mm-hmm.
and what you're allowing, or what your platform is to allow someone that's like starting out, or even already been, but they're trying to change something that they feel like they're lacking within their business. Like, speak upon that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I'm creating is so with my wisdom and elevation in business and barbering, it's a tool, right? But in order to elevate, you got to increase your mindset, right? A lot of people get in this industry because they're skilled. You know, they have a talent. They come from a background that, you know, they might have been challenged at another area, so they become barbers to leverage their creativity, leverage their skill sets. You know, looking for the freedom to be self-employed. All of those reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you get into it, and then you start opening up your shop. You get into a suite. You know, get on platforms, and you start getting some you know, authority in your industry, authority in your art, in your artistry. and
Correct.
you want to open up shop, you want to start building businesses. And the number one thing that I found that most barbers do once they get into this industry and once they start getting a little bit of wins is they find themselves creating a business or creating a brand, but really all they really do is create themselves a job for themselves, right? Because
Correct.
they don't know business. So what I do is I help barbers and beauty owners and take with the information that they have and create to productize their services. What does that mean? That means taking your service and turn it into a product so you can sell it from one to one, you can sell it from one to many. Because if you're using your time to make money, you're using all of your time to make a little bit of money, right? Well, I want to help you understand is creating a business because you are the business. But if you stand behind that chair 9, 10, 12 hours a day, you spend all of your time and you're not getting the money that you deserve on the back end, right? And all of that time you're spending behind a chair, you're losing time with your family, your friends, the things you really want to do because you're self-employed. All of these things start to stack up. And then time goes by and you realize, like, dang, where did the time go? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not running a business, you're running a job, right? Because now you own a shop, you own a couple of suites, you're traveling, you might work for Andy's or Wall or whomever else, Babyliss, right? And all of your time goes to them. But you're not getting paid for the value that you're bringing to the marketplace because you didn't know how to package your skill set. You didn't know how to package yourself and put a stamp on your brand. You know how to productize the services that you offer to the marketplace. So all of your time is being leveraged by everybody else. Babbler's getting paid millions off of you. Wall is getting paid millions off of you, and you're getting pennies on the dollar for your time, right? So what I teach people is how to take their time back, take their skill set, and turn it into a tool set so they can actually leverage their time, their money, their finances, and create a business around it so they can get all of that stuff back and leverage all of that so they can now have the time and freedom to take care of their family, their friends, and expose themselves to things that they always desire and the thing that they wanted in the first place, time freedom.
Fire.
That's all it. Yeah, that's what you want anyway. You wanted freedom.
Yeah.
You wanted to be free from time. But, you get behind a chair and you find yourself, all you do is spend all of your time in those four walls.
Yeah. So are you still in the shop or just everything that you work upon as far as your page, that's everything? Do you go back and forth or everything now is just strictly showing people how to really market themselves and market their business?
Yeah, great question. So I cut a little bit because I enjoy it, right? But I don't cut hair for income, right?
Okay.
I cut hair because I cut hair for fellowship. I cut hair to, because I enjoy it. What I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've got to a place where I can create multiple streams of income to where barbering isn't my first source of income any longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing that we all need to do as service providers. If you got one income, it's too close to no incomes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't ever want to feel strapped like that again in my life, right? I grew up without having financial literacy. I grew up not understanding how money works and how the money moves, right? When money's not moving, it's not in flow, then your money's not growing, right? So if you spend all your time just trying to make money but you're not earning money, you should learn how to make your money make more money for you so you can buy back your time. So, and that's what I've been able to do, right? So me
Mm-hmm.
cutting hair, it takes me too long to cut a head of hair for 50, 100, $100. You know what I mean? For $100 in 30 minutes or $100 in an hour, when I can make $1,000 an hour, selling a digital product, doing a speaking engagement, selling some of my books, posting on social media. Like there's so many other ways that I can get paid faster than standing behind the chair. And that's kind of the message that I want to teach my community of barbers, teach my family. You know what I'm saying? Because we got so much talent, but our talent shouldn't stop us from making the money, right? Because that's the goal.
Yeah, longevity.
Absolutely.
I also like to take time out to let our watchers, our people that's paying attention to our platform right now, to like ask questions. If you have any questions, anything that stuck out between our conversation, especially Arthur sharing a lot of wisdom right now. If you want to, have him elaborate more on it, feel free to, shoot some comments, let us know, send him maybe a direct question, and, you can get a chance to go in there and look at it and share his response. So yeah, definitely, Arthur, if you have time to, check your feed and check your question box and see if anybody question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me know when you're ready for my next question.
I'm ready. I'm ready, bro. I'm good.
Okay.
Just shoot them, bro. I'm good.
Um, like I said, when I first started this, I always thought about my first thing was like building connection within the barber industry, relationships, and how to get feedback or just learn more that I feel like I didn't know pretty much coming in just wet behind the ears. How much do you think or how much importance do you feel it is to have a relationship in this industry with other barbers or other people that you feel are right in that same realm as you?
I think it's more important than most people realize. I think it's important to understand it's collaboration over competition, right? I know this is a competitive industry, right? But the
Yeah.
more you can collaborate, what I mean, the faster and further you can go. You know what I'm saying? By yourself you can go far, but together you can go fast. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I think about is like, the relationship, and that's what this is about. Like, I mean, you build a relationship with your customers, you build a relationship with your barbers, your peers. I mean, you build relationships, maybe with the people within your city. Well, the more relationship you build, that's basically based upon your net worth, right? I'm sure you heard the phrase "your network is your net worth." What that really means is the people that you talk to the most, the frequency, like, and the type of people that you connect with. I had a mentor that told me one time. He said, "Your five closest friends, right?" He said, "Add up their net worth, and if you add up the five closest friends, their net worth, and if it's not at least $500,000, you got the wrong circle of friends." It's like, dang, what does that mean? So in other words, if you got five people and at least five people aren't making $100,000 a piece, you know what I'm saying, but you want to make more than $100,000 or more, they can't help you because all of their ideas aren't $100,000 ideas, right? You see what I'm saying? So all of y'all conversations is not a valuable conversation based on helping you get to your next level. So when you expand that same principle into the industry, what type of level do you want to get in the industry? Do you want to have your own company? Do you want to own your own product line? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to get like a platform? Do you want to open up your own business? Do you want to do you want to start digital whatever it is? You got to speak and collaborate with people that are doing those things. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can go there faster and further. You know what I mean? So I think it's so much ego. It can easily, you can get into your ego, and your ego can stop you from allowing yourself to grow, right? The acronym I think about when I think about ego, and a lot of times people get stuck, is because ego to me it stands for edging God out, right? Because
Mm.
it's all about I, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
really, if we can flip that on his head and execute God's order, right? Because God wants you to mastermind with other people. When two or three or more are in present, God, God is present. When two or more are present, God is there, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you masterminding is the way. Masterminding, networking, and all of that. Because therefore, then you will allow opportunity to shine, right? You might have the
Mm-hmm.
idea, but I might have the second piece to the puzzle to your idea. So if we collaborate, you can get there further, right? But if you do it by yourself, you're not saying that you won't get there, but somebody else has the piece to the puzzle that you're trying to plug the play for. And
Mm-hmm.
networking and collaboration is the most important thing to me from what I've seen in the industry. If you look at some of the high achievers in life, right? If you study success,
Yeah.
I'm a person that studies success. If you look at successful people and you start doing what successful people do, like look at The Rock, right? The Rock and Kevin Hart, they collaborated, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Warren Buffett Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they collaborated. Like, I mean, Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, they collaborated. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Follow success leaves clues. Follow them.
Yeah, you hit it right on the noggin. Um, I also believe in a lot of this. I'm starting to see a lot more, even with myself and me transitioning into being married now and working behind the chair, but also with the entrepreneur background that I have and way I want to move forward. Health, happiness is a big factor. As an entrepreneur, business owner, or barber, what are the most important information to not burn yourself out.
To not burn yourself out as a barber? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just overall.
Say the question again. Okay.
Health, happiness is a big factor. As an entrepreneur, business owner, barber, what are the most important information not to burn yourself out in this industry?
That's a great question. So burnout is real, bro. It's real. And I think being a servant in the industry of barbering, you can easily start taking care of everybody else before you take care of yourself, right? And if you're not conscious about that, it would backfire on you. It'll backfire on you. It'll backfire on your wife. It'll backfire on your children, right? So you have to be conscious, so you got to set boundaries, right? You got to set boundaries. So, and once you set those boundaries, you got to be stern on those boundaries. You got to allow yourself the freedom to say no, right? You got to develop your no muscle to your customers and your clients and your peers, right? Because what happens is in this industry, people require your time. They put you above everything else, right? As a barber. What I mean by that is you're their servant, right? They need you for they can do a lot of things. They need you for their wedding. They need you for their photo shoot. They need you before their big event. They need you before X, Y, and Z, right? So you are the person that's standing in between their confidence, right? So with that being said, you got this mass amount of people that are depending on you for confidence, right? And that's an amazing thing. But if you don't have clear boundaries, that one tool will separate you and your wife, your children, your family, because all of a sudden you'd be like, hey, I got to take care of so-and-so because they got a big event. Well, you and your wife had a big event, or you and your wife just had Saturday night date night, or you and your daughter had a softball game that you were supposed to attend, but you can't attend now because you committed to so-and-so's wedding, right? So on the back end, the most important things that you are trying to build can suffer if you don't have clear boundaries. So it's important. And then even yourself, standing behind that chair multiple hours. I'll give you an example. There was this one particular time, and I want to say this because I want every barber and every hairstylist to understand that if you have a desire to create wealth and riches and all that stuff, this is the one secret that I found. It's the one principle that I found that everybody needs to understand and know. Okay, It's a writer downer. If you want to take notes, this is a writer downer. Okay, you can't cut yourself rich. Okay.
Well, okay. Say that one more time.
Yes, you cannot cut yourself rich. All right, you can't. You can't style yourself to riches. Trust me, I tried. Okay, and it looks like this. I'll give you the example. There was one day, one particular years ago. It was a Thanksgiving day, right? Thanksgiving Eve, and us barbers, for holidays we want to get in early, we want to take care of people and all that stuff, right? So I got in there really early, and I'm cutting. I did a 12-hour shift, Thanksgiving Eve, right? Now I did morning to morning. And then, my wife was back home and she was making dinner for the Thanksgiving for the next day. And she's like, and I had got a call I was cutting, our semi-protein, the protein here in our city. And it was like, hey, can you come to the hotel and cut us up? Because we don't have a game tomorrow. And then we in town and the team that we're going to be playing, they're in town. So you'll have a lot of people to cut, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. But it's going to be a premium price if I'm coming there to cut all of y'all, right? Yeah, all right, no worries, we got you. So I did my full shift at the work day with my particular clients. Called my wife and she's like, all right, go ahead. I'm just gonna be up all night cooking. All right, cool. So I go there, give me a little hour, give me something to eat. I drive over to the location. I got 2 sets of football teams. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cutting the rest of the night. Mind you, I just did a 12-hour shift. You know what I'm saying, in my own space. I didn't get through cutting until 2 o'clock that morning. All right. And then I came home. After 2 o'clock in the morning, Thanksgiving was the next day, and I slept through Thanksgiving, right? I had family there and all of this, and I'm like, man, I'm so tired. I missed out on my family. I missed out on, the joy of all of these things for all of these other people. Now, I made some money, but I didn't make enough money to miss out on the things that I can cherish for years to come, right? And I look back on it, it wasn't worth it. cutting 16 to 18 hours in a day to make a little bit of money to now to this day. Yeah, I mean, it made some cool relationships and stuff like that, but that wasn't worth it. How many days are you going to cut 16, 18 hours a day to be tired for the next day, the next 2 days, and miss out on your most important thing, your family? You cannot cut yourself rich. So, so me being tired and then getting arthritis in my neck from standing, from cutting all these hours, you know, my health started to fall apart essentially, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm servicing people. So I made a decision like, okay, I need to focus on my health and my wealth. So you got to ask yourself a better question. How can I make my health and my wealth a priority in my life and get back my time? That's the most important question. Every barber, every service provider needs to ask themselves and take action in that direction.
Wow, I love that layout, that detail. That you definitely talking that barber shit today.
Real talk, bro. Real talk, right? Absolutely.
I want to like draw it back to you and definitely everything that you're showcasing and giving out. What are other ways you could advocate on growing the business away from the chair?
Absolutely. So remember earlier I was talking about one of the things that I teach is people is how to productize your service. And you might be asking, what does it mean to productize? Well, you want to take your service, right? The service that you do, you're cutting hair, you know, and you want to learn how to package it into a product, right? What does that mean? People will pay more for the same thing packaged in a different way, right? Mm-hmm. So if you got a skill set, package it in a way that you can put it into a product so you can just sell that thing over and over again and get you a reoccurring income, right? That reoccurring income now becomes passive income. That passive income now becomes an additional income that can remove you from the space of cutting hair all day long, right? And then you want to have multiple streams, right? So you in a shop all day, so you need to have at least a vending. If you own a shop, you should definitely have a vending machine in there that's making money for you, that's actually servicing your customers, creating an environment for them to feel good, that you can also make you an additional $5,000 to $1,000 a month, right? Okay, little steps is going to build this big block of wealth that you're looking for. It's going to buy back your time. So you should be selling products. Most barbers and hairstylists don't even sell products. That's step number one. But you have them right there in front of you. And if you're only depending on just your service yourself, you're selling yourself short because they're willing to buy whatever you sell. All you have to do is just make the offer. Most barbers and stylists just aren't making enough offers, right? So make more offers. What does that look like? Upgrade them to, you know, a better service, right? But you got to set the environment, you know what I'm saying? And stop focusing on yourself. What I mean by yourself is, I need to get this money. If you stop talking about like, I need to make $1,000 a day, I need to make $500 a day, I need to make $2,000, whatever that is. Well, instead of saying, I need to make that, you ask a better question. You ask this question. You'd be like, who or what do I need to serve my people to make this money today, right? That's a better question. How can I service my clients at a higher level to make $2,000 a day, right? Faster. So you can sell a couple of shampoos per customer. You can sell, and it doesn't even have to be your product. And that's the other thing. You might think, oh, it's got to be mine. There's already products out there that's selling consistently that all you have to do is just put it in rotation. So so that's a couple of things. You can put a vending machine in your shop. You can sell more products that's already selling that people already want to buy, you know, and you don't have to get the whole amount. You can just partner with somebody who's already doing that business. You can productize your service. You can start coaching your customers with, you know, charging for your consultations. You can start, you know, write a book on what your expertise is and sell to other barbers and hairstylists, right? Go back to the schools, teach a course on how you style, how you cut, how you do beards, how you add color, how you design, whatever your skill set is. You know, turn your phone sideways and record that thing, put that joint on the net, right? And make it go worldwide. Like I just gave you about 6 or 7 different ways to create money that you do not have to stand behind that chair and make money with that little bit of money, right? And, you know what I mean? And here's the most important thing. You go out right now, go to LegalZoom and get yourself an LLC. So therefore you can actually start making this stuff a real business for yourself, right? That's the most important thing. You know, technicians that are on missions, they don't have the understanding that you're really a business. We in this industry, because we're business owners, right? We want more, but we're not willing to do more. But do more doesn't always mean do a lot. It just means do a little bit more of the things that actually work and make you money faster, right? The other last thing I would say about that is the most important thing is make yourself an LLC and then make yourself an employee of your business, right? So you got extra, talk your barber shit, and then you personally should be an employee of that company, right? So now what does that mean? You get to write yourself a check. You get a W-2, and then your business writes that off, you as an employee of your business, right? So now you got to write off on your business, and then also you the employee, so you get a check. You pay yourself a wage every day, or hourly wage, right? So you work 10 hours a day, but you're getting paid 10 hours at $20 an hour. Now your company writes that off, and then you get a W-2. So now you get a check every month. So now you're making money on top of money. So when you go file your taxes at the end of the year, you just had a real business, and then you can set yourself up with business credit. So now you can actually have more income. Like, it's so many ways to make money as a barber. People just don't have enough information. And when they get the information, they don't do anything with it.
Say that last part again.
It's so easy to do so many things when they get, and there's so much information out here that people, once they even get the information, they don't do anything with it. And that is why you're broke. And I'm not saying that you're broke because you're broke. I'm saying you're broke because you have the broken information. I said earlier, if you get the right information from the wrong person at the right time, that's why people get stuck, right? Yeah. That's why people get stuck.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep triggering these quick, because this is what I seen on your page. This is what I want people to know, what you're offering. So when people hit you up and like, hey, I saw you on TalkUrBarberShit. These are the questions, and you be like, yeah, well, everything that you saw in there is what I offer, but I want you to go to my platform, and this is what I can deliver to you on my page, on my services. So we're going to go jump into the next one. What are the key ways to simplify and better marketing and service growth behind the chair and inside the shop or outside the shop? Let me repeat that again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the key ways to simplify and better marketing and service growth behind the chair and outside the shop?
Yeah, it's good. So the first thing is you got to start going to like seminars. I mean, you got to educate yourself, right? Barbers got to get from behind the chair and just stop staying in the shop all day and get out there and go network in other industries. Go to marketing events, go to seminars, go. Right now it's so much digital stuff. You can jump on a webinar, learn a little bit about marketing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The biggest thing that most barbers don't understand is they think that people come to get to their business because they're good, right? That's not why people come to your chair. That's not why people get a haircut from you. You know what I mean? People, they think that's why. They think, oh, because I'm the best in the city. That's not why. And if you understand marketing, you'll understand why people really come. People gonna come to you for one reason. People coming to you because they feel like it. They feel like that's the only reason why people come to you, right? They feel that you can help them get what they need. Period. It's what's in it for me. If you understand that principle, that everybody that sits in your chair, that everybody comes in your business, that everybody comes in your circle, they really have an alternative motive. And the question is, what's in it for me, right? And once you get past that and know that that's the truth, you got to add value in that fashion. Well, marketing, if you market your business and you give more than your competitors give to their customers, you always win, right? So the more value you add to your clients, the more value you add by marketing, you get the sale, right? But most people don't realize that. So barbers have to understand what marketing is. So one of the things I teach is how to attract a high-ticket client, right? The only way you can attract a high-ticket client is you got to speak the lingo of a high-ticket person, right? So what does that look like? You got to know, you got to go where they go. You got to shop where they shop. You got to be where they be, right? So you got to understand marketing, and marketing comes in different fashion. It comes in colors, it comes in numbers, and it comes in language. So if you got using the wrong language, you're always attracting the clients that you want and repelling the clients you want at the same time. So depending on the type of person you want to sit in your chair, be mindful of the words that you're speaking. So when you understand that principle, marketing gets easy, right? So that language has to be in your copy, that language has to be in your post, that language has to be on your hashtags, you know what I'm saying? That language has to be on your website, that language has to be in your barbershop. All of that language has to say I'm the person that you want to, I am the person that you want to be serviced by. If you understand that, you attract those people. You also got to understand whatever language that you have, you're also, like it's repelling those people. So if you want people to pay you more money, but everything about you says you're attracting cheap people, right? All of your language is saying cheap people, discount, discount this, free this. Like you're attracting free people. You're attracting people that's not going to invest. You're attracting people that's not going to buy from you by the language that you're using. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to buy your premium prices. They're not going to pay, $50 and $40. They're going to always give you resistance when you say I'm raising my prices. Well, that's the person that you attract because of the language that you was putting out in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So if you understand that principle, you always know, look at your results right now. And you look at your clientele and you can say, hey, look, do I got cheap clients or do I got premium clients? Right? And then you ask yourself, why do I have cheap clients? What am I telling them? How did they come here? What funnel did they come through? And a funnel is simply, like how they come and then the sequence that you put them through to making till they buy. Right. So most barbers don't understand, like they might have a website, but just because you got a website doesn't mean people are going to go there. Right. And if they do go there, what is the sequence that you put in them to put them in buying momentum to actually buy what you're selling? You know what I'm saying? So understanding that those principles, and these are principles. When I mean principles is it works for me, it works for you once you understand the principle. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not applying this stuff, there's no reason why you don't have the clients that you desire. Because marketing works if you work it.
Okay. I love it. I got a few more questions for you, and because I know you got a business, I don't hold you up too much because I can go on because you dropping knowledge today.
Absolutely.
What are the best formulas to make sure your finances are in order as a barber or as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so your finances, man. So first and foremost, you got to have a system, bro. You got to have a financial system. And, that looks like you always got to, this is the first principle of any financial literacy. First 10% of anything that you make is yours to keep. Okay. So you always got to save at least the first 10%, you know what I'm saying? And tithing is real, you know what I'm saying? So if you really tithe your money, man, like if you really believe in that principle, like I'm a God-fearing guy. I believe in God is my savior, right? And everything that I do is based on the good word, right? So, and there's no shame for me in saying that ever, right? So when I speak to people, that's just where I come from, okay? But that first 10%, man, that's your safety net. That's everything. Then from there, putting your money in different buckets, right? Most safety in case something happens. So most people are one payday away from closing their business or one payday away from being broke. When I say payday, is barbers get paid every day, right? So might make $300 a day or $1,000 a day, and then tomorrow you spend it on your J's and outfits and all of that. The third, whatever your thing is, you know what I'm saying, cars, whatever. So you make $1,000 a day and you spend $1,000 tomorrow. You have no system for your income. You have no system for your money. So you want to put yourself in a system, you know what I'm saying, and put it on automatic debits, right? So most people got their cars on automatic. They got their cell phone on automatic withdrawal, but they don't have their savings on automatic withdrawal. So set yourself up in a way that you get automatically paid every day, every month, every week, whatever it is works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, if you did it like I was telling you about, like a business, give yourself a paycheck to where now you got a W-2 and you take your paycheck, automatically deposit to your business account or your personal account, and everything just distributes where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't have to worry about it, and it does it automatically. I feel like I call it like the automatic millionaire. You can become an automatic millionaire while automating your finances. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That would be the simplest way of putting it.
Uh,
Become an automatic millionaire by simplifying your financial process.
I like that one. If you ain't if you ain't copying me, I'm about to take that one.
Yeah, man, go for it, bro. Yeah, man,
uh,
go for it, bro.
what advice would you give a new barber just starting out? I know you got a lot to, but what would be maybe one thing? I would say first to come to your platform, to subscribe to your sessions. But what else would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, find somebody that fits your personality first and foremost, right? And get around people. Build your circle. That's what I would say. Whatever, and then most importantly, feed your mind, man. I tell people all the time, I'd rather go a day without eating before I go a day without reading, right? Because it's just, as important it is to feed your body, to feed what I mean, because you walk around, you need that energy. Well, so
Mhm.
does your mind. Your mind needs the right type of fuel to get to the next level that you want to go to. Now,
Mhm.
if you don't do it intentionally, your mind is going to be fed regardless, but it's going to be fed by everybody else's thinking and everybody else's limited thoughts and everybody else's whatever TV you're watching, whatever episodes you tuned into. If you understand, whatever you tune into, that's what you turn into, right? So change the frequency of the things that you want to have, and then tune into that and that only. You know what I'm saying? And that is the most important part. Your mind is your greatest and most important asset that you have, and you have to give it attention.
Definitely.
That would be the most important thing that anybody can take away. I mean, that's better. That right there it trumps everything we even talked about, because if you understand that principle, right, you wouldn't let nobody come into your barbershop and just do whatever they wanted to do, right? You wouldn't let nobody come into your house and
Yeah, right.
just come in there after the rain and put their muddy shoes on your white couch like Rick James did. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't let nobody come in there with no muddy shoes and put their feet on your white couch, right?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
right? So
Never.
why would you let somebody come and put their muddy thoughts into your mind? Why would you
Hmm.
let them put their negative thoughts into your mind, telling you what you can't do, telling you what you're not able to do, telling you how much money you can't make, telling you, oh, you don't come from that, so you can't do this? Why would you allow that to even step foot in your mind, right? So you have to protect your mind like you protect your body, like you protect your home, like you protect your family. That is the most important ingredient to success.
I want to say to 1,000, I appreciate you today, man. This was amazing. This was truly dope. You shared a lot. You gave yourself fully to, allow yourself to, jump on this platform and express your wisdom. And it was everything I can ask for. Before I ask you my last question, I want you to share all your information, your platform, what you offer, everything.
Absolutely. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you too. Before I even get into that, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, man, because so many people needs to hear this, and so many people needs to, get wisdom like this from not only myself, you, and all the other people that you're reaching out to and servicing, man. So it's an amazing thing that you're doing. I'm grateful for you, and continue to do that. Well,
Thank
my
you,
name is
man.
Arthur Lyle. You are very welcome. My name is Arthur Lyle. And I'm a business coach. That's what I do now. I'm a mastery business coach. I focus on mastery, right? So, and I help high entrepreneurs, service providers, barbers, and hairstylists productize their services so they can buy their wealth by buying their time back, right? So that's what I help people do, right? Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Arthur_Lyle. And actually, I have a challenge coming out. I don't know we want to talk about that. We'll talk about that, I guess, another time. But it's called Productize Your Services Challenge. But anyway, that's what I got going on. I'm doing challenges and I'm helping other people, extend uh, their resources and productizing their services so they can get more out of their life and buy back their time. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, man, and DM me or ask me any questions. I love to serve people in the best way and at the highest level that I can.
No, man, we could speak more a little bit about. You got more you want to, touch it, go into it. Yeah, I don't have no problem.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, I have a 5-day challenge coming up, and in my 5-day challenge, the purpose of the challenge is to teach people about mastery, right? And whatever skill set, whatever expertise that you already have, you can turn it into a profitable product to buy back your time, right? A lot of the things that we mentioned today, and based on how to do it though, right? Like how to be able to productize, how to create passive income streams. So, you know, you don't have to be in a barbershop for 10, 12 hours a day. So, you know, how to create situations to where you don't have to stand behind a chair and like myself get arthritis in my neck because I'm bending over for so many hours and so many years in the industry, right? And getting carpal tunnel and missing your kids' events and, you know, not being able to do what you need to do, you know, but having, because you're so devoted to the people that you serve and cutting or servicing your people that you neglect the most important things in your life. I want people to buy back their time and buy back the real reason you decided to get in that shop.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah.
My last, you can answer this however you want. What do you think about law of attraction, and how do you incorporate this into your everyday life and your business?
That's law of attraction, bro. Is, to me, man, law of attraction is a secondary principle, right? So a lot of people seen The Secret, right? You seen The Secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people seen The Secret, and then they say law of attraction, law of attraction, law of attraction. If I think I can be it, think I can be it. Well, that's only half true, right? Because law of attraction is the second principle. You know, that the first principle is the law of vibration, right? The law of vibration is to be in alignment, have the right frequency of what it is that you desire, right? And then law of attraction, then you can attract what you want. So if you're not on the right frequency, in other words, if you're not on the right channel, if you're not on the right station, you know what I mean, you ain't in the right vibe, if you're not around the right people, you're not in the right environment, anything that you're trying to attract by the law of attraction is not going to happen because you're not tuned into the right station. You know what I'm saying? And then the second part of that is the law of attraction is a compound word, right? It's a two-part word. The law of attraction, if you break it down, it says the law of action, right? So you have to take action, you know what I'm saying, to attract what you want. So how do I use that in my everyday life? I try to make sure I'm always in the right environment. I'm vibing. I'm in the right vibration. You know, my circle of 5 friends or more, they're doing what I want to do. I have the right mentors, the right coaches, the right things that I'm looking around, helping me get to my next level. That's the vibration. And I'm thinking on that level, and I'm acting on that level, and I'm speaking on that level, because those are the 3 components. It's your attitude. It's not just what you say, it's what you, your attitude is based on the 3 things, which is the things that you say, the things that you do, and the things that you believe, right? Yeah. Once you get all those 3 in alignment, your attitude then can become your altitude, but not before, right? So, and then as far your last part of that question is, how do I apply that to my life? Well, I apply that to my life every day, because I want to attract any and everything that I want based on my actions. So my actions determine my destination. If I don't like what's happening, if I don't like where I'm at, I got to look at my results, right? I fast forward. Okay, what am I desiring right now? And what I'm desiring is not what I want. I'm looking around at my results and I'm like, okay, this is not what I want. So then I got to, look backwards and like, okay, what actions am I taking? What am I doing to get this result? Okay. You see, I'm doing that math in my head. I'm doing that. I'm problem solving. And if it doesn't align with what I want, then that means I'm taking the action in the wrong direction. I need to make a change. Exactly. So that's the self-analysis. Yeah. That's how I make that work. And I believe that's one of the greatest ways that you can leverage that.
That was fire. Yeah. I like that. You went in on that
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite, because I mean, it's what you know is here's the thing, bro. And I'm gonna say this, and it's about it. But you have to question what you know, and you also have to question what you don't know. Yeah. And I say this all the time. I call it my 4 unknowns, right? And the 4 unknowns is there's some things that you know, right? And there's some things that you don't know that you know. And then there's also some things that you don't know that you know, but there's things that you know that you don't know that you know. Right?
Yeah.
I probably messed you up with that one. But what that really says is this, bro. You know, question everything. You know what I'm saying? Simply just question everything, because you don't know what you don't know. And what you do know might not be what you think you know, but you can get further if you ask the right questions at the right time and at the right place.
Hey man, this is dope, man. We definitely got to do this again. But
Absolutely.
I think this was everything that I wanted out of Talk Your Barber Shit. You brought it. You delivered. Shit, you went to the touchdown zone and scored by yourself.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate this, man. I'm gonna end this, but I'm gonna hit you up and then we can talk a little bit more.
Fantastic, bro. Peace and
All
love,
right.
bro. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Absolutely.
All right, go on.